The next piece is integrating your call with some creative drawing and collage, and the artists are going to guide that.
So you have your journals, and some of you may have noticed in the back of the room there are lots of magazines, crayons, paints, art supplies. And create for yourself your own personal expression of what the call is for you using the other part of your brain.
We wanted to just take an opportunity to share with you the gift that it's been to see you make art and to make art with you. And I think something really magical has happened because as we've been looking at very often in doing the work of visual recording, we're in the background, our back is turned to the room, and we've become labeled the artists. And here in this experience, you shared that with us. And in making art for yourself, the collage, in making art in small groups, in making these murals where your mark was on the page just as much as ours, a shift took place. And I think art came into the center. And there's a role that was such a gift to me in the critical nature of making art together, and of, as we'd say in improv, of yes-anding that part of ourselves that lives in color, that lives in symbol, that lives in the mark on the page that we don't understand. So I just, with full heart, stand in gratitude that you joined yourself there and that we stood in community together in that place.
I have had the experience, much like Mariah, of generally being with my back to the room. I know I can stand with my back to the room with a pen in my hand. And what this experience gave me was the permission to step out and face the room and speak with my voice as well as my hands, and be with you all in that process. I felt like we were, it's also a rare treat to be able to work with other people who are doing this work, and usually it's a very isolating thing. We're sort of there by ourselves doing our thing, and to be a part of instead of apart from was a real gift.
Thank you. I also have a lot of gratitude today. Every morning when the music starts, my heart just bursts open. I want to say a little bit about collaboration and the gift that Ward gave when he invited all these other folks. And truthfully, when he first announced that, it didn't feel like a gift to me. It was like, you what? There was a certain kind of like, wait a minute, how's this going to work? But the gift for me has really been that it's not about holding the markers like this. It's about holding the markers like this. And the new star in my constellation from this time this week is one of mentoring and teaching and holding space for other people to show up, not to the diminishment or inflation of my own gifts, but to make room for other people to play. And that has been such an incredible gift. And the fact that we consciously did not start on the wall until you all had put markers to paper was intentional, and I think shifted everything. And I learned a lot this week about the way I work and how I engage people and how I show up. So I've really appreciated all the artists who've shown up, both those of us who were identified ahead of time in every form, in word and music and poetry and drawing and color, and all of you in the room who've really jumped in to participate. So I'm very, very grateful. And now somebody's going to tell us what to do.
So I have a request, because it would be a real gift to me to know how it affected you to be part of the art making process, to be artists, to participate as artists in this process. And if maybe I'll take a page from Peter's book and ask for four people to speak to how that experience was for them, for you.
My name is Gary. Music's been my main entry into the stream of creativity. And it's interesting, when I approach visual art or drawing, I just feel like pretty out of it, actually. So there's a lot of, kind of shame and awkwardness. And so at first when we were doing this, there's part of me that just went, oh no, not again. Because I generally have not experienced myself as being very successful, whatever that means. However I tell the story that diminishes what I actually do. But there was something about seeing everybody partake in it that somehow thawed the ice enough that I could begin to experience the validity of my own expression in this medium.
It's Charles. The word collaborative I found really powerful and interesting in the experience. The sequence that I experienced yesterday was Ward presenting the question, Peter, you refining it to take it from a broader question to a narrower question, which was what was it that surprised you or you weren't prepared for today? And the combination of the two of you refining that question and then the conversation amongst the 4 or 5 of us who were together, combined with the visual, led to it was that led to Ralph, who's not here, he had to leave, expressing his experience of getting Ubuntu, and the rest of us getting it in a way that words couldn't. It was the visual. So for me, this combination of powerful questions, conversation, and co-creating visual is something that I'm taking with me from this to think about and explore and need, because it's great, Brenda.
I won't make it very long, but as I was looking, I have a beautiful view of the whole mural from our journey together, and as I was following the progress, I got to the end and it says welcome in really bright pink letters, and for some reason that is really striking me, because it's not goodbye, it's not close the book and now go home, it's you've arrived at a new place as a new being right now, and you can start answering the next call. And that to me is a very open-ended way to exit, and so thank you for putting that up there.